Thank you to SnakeStone97 for their generous donation as a YouTube member. If you'd like to join them in their generosity, the link to become a YouTube member is in the description, or you can click the join button down below.
Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and... What? I said stay safe. Y'all ain't being safe, otherwise we'd be done with this shit. If all y'all motherfuckers, not you specifically, just in general, in America, would just wear your fucking masks, and wash your hands, and isolate, not throw your goddamn parties, if y'all would just stay the fuck at home, and do what science says, y'all, we wouldn't be like this. We'd be like the rest of the world who's getting better and resuming life to a degree. But no, 1,000 people dying a day, that's fine, so you can go get your fucking haircut. Well, great. I'm fucking happy for you. Go fuck yourself, you 2-bit fucking loser. You fucking... I hate you. I hate anyone who's fucking taking this opportunity to disregard science. You anti-maskers. All you fucks out there who think that your lives are more important than everyone else. All you fuck asses who are pitching fits at Walmart because they're trying to make you wear a mask. Oh, it's my constitutional rights. You go fuck yourself. You going outside without the proper protection and without the proper timing or without the proper precautions. Y'all should be tried for attempted fuck murder. You're an embarrassment. You're the reason why America's a fucking laughingstock. And I'm the one wearing a stupid fucking face mask. Well, I'll tell you this face to fucking face. I got no fucking problem whooping some ass at Walmart or wherever the fuck else you decide to go to without wearing a mask because you are endangering the lives of everyone in my community, everyone in my fucking family. I don't take kindly to selfish pieces of shit thinking that their comfort for 20 minutes while they walk around Walmart and buy a bunch of shit they don't fucking need is more important than the lives of my fucking family. Let's play some COD and Tennis Ace, huh? Let's do that. So someone told me in this update that it was, it had June's update, but apparently what I imagine they mean is the 0.42 update, because I'm playing the 0.41 update, which is the most recent, it's the most recent publicly available build. And I checked, this does not have an update for June's route. But it did say that apparently, unless you start on like the start of a day, apparently the save gets a little buggy. So, be forewarned. So, I also tried to play extracurricular activities because Dinewolf said that if I just like skipped the build after that wasn't having problems with save files not loading. But I tried to play the most recent build, which is a build past the one that was fucking up for me, and it's still fucked up. So I gotta talk to him about that, see if I can get that shit sorted out. That's the reason I haven't been playing extracurricular activities, because it's fucking broken. But, we're here. Let's continue with Shoichi's route. So, day 27, oh man, being able to have a lazy day again feels so nice. I've spent the past week working my ass off and doing my best to catch up on my studies again, having ambitions such as a chore. Although I'm mostly doing this out of spite at this point, just wanting to show Shoichi up since he's always nagging me to put in more effort in my studies. He's such a goody two-shoes, it's really annoying. I mean, I love the dude to death, and he's a really good example most of the time, but dear God, stop preaching to me so much. Here I am, my weekend has barely just began and my thoughts somehow have already floated to him. Great. I hate this. I really, really hate this. Oh, there we go. The sound of footsteps echoes from the staircase. I raise my head up from the couch where I'm laying down and try to have a look to see if it's either Aki or Mom that's coming down. You're up early. My younger brother's painfully neutral face welcomes me. Not even a hint of a smile at seeing me. I went to bed early last night. I noticed.
You've been going to bed a lot earlier lately, even before me sometimes.
I can barely even stay awake anymore. My brain is way too overwhelmed. It's embarrassing to admit, but I've grown so used to slacking off that suddenly being all gung-ho about studying on top of practicing every day has me mentally exhausted.
You barely even properly function and you're already overwhelmed? That doesn't bode well.
Hey, I'll have you know that I've been studying a lot recently.
Oh, well, that's new. Did you hit your head or something?
How about you have a little more faith in me? I'm just trying this new thing where I try to be a good student again. Crazy, I know.
This might just brighten up Mom's day when she hears about it.
Why do you suddenly look so smug about it?
No reason.
Stupid little brat. You're lucky I love you.
Do you have no plans for today? I'm surprised you guys aren't getting together this weekend. What with it being the first free one after midterms and all.
We did make plans for tomorrow. We're going out to celebrate Keiken's birthday, which I totally forgot was a thing.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Maybe I should ask Sayane for his number so I can wish him a happy birthday.
You know, it worries me that you have all of my friends' numbers.
Not all of them. I just told you I don't have Keisuke-san's.
Not what I meant. Don't you have friends of your own? I see you talking to mine more than anything.
Do you think I just spend all my time alone when I'm at school or at the tennis club or just hanging out? Just because you don't know my friends doesn't mean they don't exist. We've had this discussion before.
I still think I should get to know your friends. Make sure they're good influence on you and all that.
No.
Why not?
Because I said no. I don't need a reason, just no.
I swear to God, one of these days I'll lose my patience and smack you around a little bit for good measure. Or so I like to think, but realistically, there's no way I'd ever be able to hurt Aki. Curse my conscience for being such a pain in the ass.
Well, I'll get Keisuke-san's number later. I need to get some food and then I'll be going.
You're going out?
Yeah, to the club. If I get to the club now, if I want to do better at the competitions, then there's no way around it other than practicing more.
Aw, look at you being so diligent. It's cute.
It's to be expected. I'm only really doing the bare minimum. Speaking of which, if you have a lazy Saturday, shouldn't you be practicing too?
This kid is way too blunt. It hurts. Sometimes you just need a day off to recharge. Studying is hard and all that.
It's nice that you're bothering to study now and all that, but that's the same thing I do. And I managed to do it while also having cram school on top of it. You can afford to practice some more too.
Would you stop policing everything I do? You're not our mother. You're my younger brother.
Excuses, excuses.
You're so not cute at all.
I don't want to be cute.
Oh, apparently that was supposed to be dialogue. It wasn't. But oh, no. Oh, snippety snappity. He just read our mind. But I didn't say.
It's written all over your face. You're pretty easy to read sometimes.
I hate this. My phone pipes up from the table announcing to me that someone has sent me a massage. Hang on a sec, check this out.
Sure, I gotta go eat something.
Aki walks up to the kitchen, opening the fridge door and checking inside. I reach down to the coffee table, grabbing my phone, and lying back down on the couch. Hey, it's a message from Shoichi. Huh? Shoichi,
are you free today?
I could really use your help with something. That's odd. Shoichi never asked me for help with anything. To the point that it's mildly infuriating. Sure, what do you need? Shoichi,
I'll pick you up in 20.
Huh. Guess I have plans now. Aki, I'm gonna be heading out in about 20 minutes. I speak loudly so he can hear me from the kitchen, getting up from the couch to go up to my room, wanting to give myself a quick brushing, make sure I'm presentable. Thank God I took a bath as soon as I woke up.
Alright, I'll be out of the house in 10, so you'll have to lock up after you leave.
Got it. Sometime later. Shoichi shows up to pick me up around the agreed-upon time, barely even saying a word as he does so. After only a few curt answers to my greeting, I decided to mostly follow behind him in silence, mulling over the questions I wanted to ask. He looks really tense for some reason. Things have been pretty nice with us during the rest of the week. Even our argument earlier was resolved and wasn't even an issue anymore. Did something happen to get him like this? Shoichi?
Yeah?
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Did you really just answer me with the same word twice? You look a bit off today. Your face is scrunched up in a weird way. The husky stops in his tracks, turning around to face me with a sigh.
Is it really?
For sure. Is everything all right?
It's hard to explain. I did a thing. I need some support to deal with it.
Oh my god, you didn't kill someone, right? That's not what this is, right? What? No, of course not. Why would you even think that? Jesus, mad boy all of a sudden. Just checking.
Your imagination really concerns me sometimes.
I can honestly agree with that.
I've been giving what you said to me some thought.
Oh, really?
What about it exactly? Just everything about meeting Mom again. Reconnecting.
Really? Well, that's great.
If you say so. It's hard. I tried talking to Dad yesterday. I showed him my grades, how well I did on my exams and all that. I told him that I could do that well despite doing volleyball on the side. I asked him if I could still keep it up. I want to be hopeful that he said yes, but your face doesn't really give me much hope. Dots. Oh, Shoichi. If we weren't in the middle of a busy street right now, I'd give you a hug.
You can hug people in public platonically, even though you also don't have to hide your fucking whatever.
He was happy that I got good grades. He complimented me a bit, which is rare. Even pet me a little. I think he actually considered letting me for a second, but volleyball isn't a good extracurricular for a resume. If I have time to do that, then I should look for something more productive.
Are you kidding me?
It's not like he doesn't have a point, I guess. I just hate it.
As you should. He's being ridiculous.
We can get in an argument about this later. I really don't want to talk about it right now. I just had to give some context.
Context for what?
The whole thing it made me decide that I really wanted to do it. I kept hearing what you said to me, what you told me over and over in my head, and I thought that maybe... I asked Hitoka to set things up for me. I couldn't bring myself to just message Mom directly after all this time. It felt too impersonal, and I definitely couldn't drop by unannounced. She told me Mom was on a shift yesterday, so we decided I'd visit today instead. I know it's kind of a weird thing to ask. I know you'll probably feel awkward being there for the whole thing too, but as I was preparing myself for it this morning, I started to panic. I need you there with me, Cleves. I don't think I'll have the courage to go over without you there to give me emotional support. I'm scared. I'm really scared that she'll be mad at me.
What? There's no way she'll be mad at you. I already told you that.
I hope so. I really do. I place a hand on his shoulder, looking up at the goof with a smile on my face, trying my best to be reassuring. You worry too much. I know she'll be happy to see you. It's been too long, man. There's no way it hasn't been weighing on her. But I'll keep you company if that's what you need. And once you've gathered your courage, I'll leave so the three of you can be alone. I didn't ask you to come all this way to have you walk out. That'd be rude.
You and I know I won't really belong in that. It's a family thing. I'll keep you company until you feel safe, and then I'll find a reason to excuse myself. That's non-negotiable. Shoichi reaches up for my hand, grabbing the back of it and lifting it from his shoulder.
Self-voicing enabled.
What?
Shoichi reaches up.
Shoichi? Fuck.
Self-voicing disabled.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked the V. Didn't mean to do that. Shoichi, apparently. Christ. He gently brings my hand to his face, pressing his cheek against my palm. Oh, we got a blushy boy. We got a blushy boy. Thanks, Cleaves. I love you. Of course, no problem. This is really nice and all, but we're in public, man. What if someone looks our way? Shit, no, I can't panic right now. If I panic, then he'll panic, and it'll be too much panic for us to deal with without panicking. I use the word panic too much right now. Is it all right for me to panic over that? Oh, God, what is my mind doing to me? Man, you look so frazzled right now. I'm having a hard time not laughing. Shut up! I'm embarrassed, okay? Shoichi places a hand on top of my head, gently ruffling my fur and running his fingers through it with a bright smile on his face. You really are my rock, Cleaves. I hope I'll be able to do the same for you when you need me too. That's some really embarrassing stuff you're casually spouting there, buddy. You bring it out of me. Nothing I can do about it. I certainly don't plan on hiding it either. Come on. I'm feeling a bit better now, and we're not too far from the house either way. Better do it before I lose courage again. Is that something that could actually happen? It comes and goes in waves. That's the frustrating part. It doesn't take too long to finally reach our destination. I hadn't walked this particular path for a few years now. Not since Shoichi moved away from the house. The whole thing brings me a sense of nostalgia that I can't quite describe. This time I make the walk side by side with Shoichi, not letting him walk ahead of me anymore. I shoot him a few sideways glances on the way, seeing a look on his face that makes me wonder if he's being swallowed up by some sense of by the same sense of nostalgia that I'm feeling. Or is it maybe dread? I certainly hope it isn't. Eventually, we reach the front door. I see a small wooden board that reads Hayashida. Shuichi's eyes follow my gaze, and as soon as they fall upon the board, his face scrunches up. I guess it makes sense. He mutters quietly to himself, placing a hand on his chest and taking a deep breath. I guess that's maybe his mother's maiden name, or maybe she remarried, I don't know. My brain races to try and come up with comforting words to say, but no matter what I do, I can't find them. The sound of hurried steps echoed from the other side, racing to the door and unlocking it. Probably Hitoka. Yep. Oh! Nice style there, man. I like the jacket. She looks cool. Swing open the door. Hitoka appears on the other side. A huge grin on her face as her eyes fall on the two of us. Hey! Oh, Cleveland-kun, you're here too! Hitoka, Shh! She brings a finger to her lips, giddily interrupting Shoichi before breaking into giggles. Oh, she didn't tell her. What the fuck? Oh, Lord. Hitoka, who's at the door? Just something I ordered, Mom. The girl shouts back. Oh, just something! Fuck, whatever. The girl shouts back inside once a female voice calls her from somewhere within the house, barely holding her laughter. You didn't. I wanted it to be a surprise. Be quiet. I said shush! Oh, God. Shoichi soon acquiesces to his sister's whims, a scene that's already too familiar by now. Come on, let's head inside, quickly. Whoa! What the friggity frack? Okay, so they got their looks from their dad, I guess, or at least their hue. As soon as we step in through the entrance hall, we're hit by a wave of cool, dry air rushing in from the living room. I take a few seconds to look around, seeing just how much of this is the exact same as last time I've been here. A pleasant smell wafts in from the kitchen, a mix of familiar spices, chicken, and rice. Hitoka had probably been cooking when we rang the doorbell. No wonder she rushed to get to the door first. And then, sitting at an armchair with a book atop her lap, was a figure I didn't even realize how much I'd come to miss over the past few years. Look at his face. That is a haunting glare. God damn. Her figure is just as I remember, if only slightly rounder now than she was before. Unlike both of her children, who inherited their father's fur pattern, Sachiko-san's fur is of a deep, almost fiery red. Her eyes, however, have the same vibrant green hue as I've grown used to seeing almost every day. As soon as his gaze falls on her, Shoichi covers his mouth with his hand. His wide eyes focus solely on his mother, faint droplets forming on their corners. Sachiko-san continues to read, unaware of the sudden presence of two people that hadn't been inside the household until just a few moments earlier.
Mom, there's someone here to meet with you. Who is?
Sachiko-san looks up from her book, freezing as soon as she sees us. Oh, thank God she has expressions. Her eyes fall upon Shoichi, slowly going wide as realization begins to sink in, her mouth hanging agape. Hitoka's previous mischievous grin slowly flattens across her face, her eyelids slowly sinking as she stares down at the ground with only the tiniest hint of a smile on her face.
Shoichi?
She gets up from her chair, taking slow, hesitant steps towards the three of us. Her expression shows me nothing other than utter surprise, leaving me completely incapable of telling how she's feeling other than shocked. She stops when she's standing just a few inches away from her son, who now easily towers over her. The older husky looks him up and down, her unmistakable green eyes twinkling even brighter than usual with the moist, glossy reflection of tears wanting to form. The shock on her face slowly subsides, taken over by a gentle, matronly smile. Reaching up with her hand, Sachiko-san places a hand on Shoichi's cheek, who has not moved at all even now.
You've grown up so much.
Those words, barely even a whisper, spoken warmly from the heart, are enough to finally disarm Shoichi. He wraps his arms around his mother, pulling her into a tight hug and leaning down to rest his chin on her shoulder. Yeah. A part of me really does feel like I shouldn't be here. This isn't the sort of thing an unrelated person should be in the middle of. Well, we need the narrative focus on this scene right now, and this is Steven Universe, where the main character has to be there so that we see it no matter what. But Shoichi asked me to be here. For some reason, he wants my support. There's no way I could ever refuse him like that.
Have you been good? Are you healthy? It's been way too long.
Sachiko-san pulls away, holding her son's face in her hands and looking him fondly in the eyes, wiping the tears on his eyes with her thumbs. Shoichi laughs, placing a hand on top of her head and pulling her closer once again to kiss her forehead. Have I been healthy? That's such a mom thing to ask. You really have your priorities straight, don't you?
It's my job to look out for you.
Her words caused the smile on Shoichi's face to falter for a brief second, almost completely unnoticeable. In fact, if I hadn't gotten used to watching him closely since we started dating, it probably would have flied right past me. I'm sorry I didn't come to see you sooner.
You've been dealing with a lot, haven't you?
Shoichi's silence probably speaks louder than any words he could have come up with. Sachiko-san shakes her head sideways, sighing. She's always been well put together, quickly recomposing herself and steadying her breathing. The smile, however, never leaves her face. She turns to me, placing a hand on my shoulder and smiling fondly.
What about you, Cleveland-kun? It's been so strange not having you around all the time anymore. Have you been well?
I have, yeah. I'm sorry for intruding on your reunion, ma'am.
Don't be silly. I've missed you just as much. You were part of my life for years. You're already like a son to me. I've been getting frequent updates on you from Shoichi from Hitoka, but it's not really the same as having you around.
She reaches out with her hand, gently stroking my chin with her index finger and thumb. The sudden gesture of affection causes me to blush slightly, wanting to turn my face away, but being unable to do so. Wait, from Hitoka? Hitoka pulls her phone out of her pocket, playfully wagging it next to her face with a grin.
Aki-kun keeps me updated. I just passed the information along.
Ah, I see. I guess those two really keep in touch a lot more often than I thought. Jeez, I can't believe you've been going through that much trouble.
Maybe if a certain someone texted me and talked to me more often, I wouldn't have to.
Noted.
Come here, sit, tell me what's been going on with you, please.
Sachiko-san ushers us to the couch before going back to her chair, with Shoichi taking the middle seat and Hitoka sitting to his left. That leads only the seat closest to Sachiko's armchair vacant for me.
How have you been? Are you doing well in school? Are you still getting along with your friends?
Mom, what's with these questions? They're such stereotypical mom questions to ask. Sachiko-san laughs, her voice carrying through the room. It's a bubbly, cheerful, nostalgic sound that diffuses any tense feelings inside of me. I've spent so much time in this house over the years. Even though Sachiko-san was always busy with her shifts at the hospital, she was still a really frequent presence in my life. She also helped a lot with Aki when my own mom was too busy to come home. Especially in the years right after Dad's passing when we first moved here.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time containing myself. I'm so happy to see you two again after so long.
I know, I'm excited to meet you too. I was so worried about coming here. I ended up dragging Cleveland along with me for moral support. The elder husky hums in amusement, turning her gentle green eyes towards me.
Thank you for being here with him, Cleveland-kun. You have no idea how much that means to me.
Of course, ma'am. I wouldn't have it any other way. Shoichi reaches up, briefly running his fingers on top of my head to show his appreciation.
But tell me, Shoichi, why did you stay away for so long? You rejected all my attempts to reach out, and did I do something wrong?
Oh, God, her voice cracks noticeably. Sachiko-san takes multiple breaths breaks to breathe and recompose herself as she speaks, trying to get her voice under control.
Mom.
Of course not. You never did anything. It was all me. I felt really guilty for the longest time. Cleveland often tried to urge me to meet you again, to talk to both of you. I'm the one who had a hard time accepting it. Then again, Cleves has always been a real family man. Family first and all that. It's not at all surprising that he'd be the one pushing me along. In the middle of his speech, I notice a small slip-up when Shoichi calls me Cleves in front of his family. A brief sense of panic wells up in the pit of my stomach while I look around nervously, looking for any sign that they noticed. However, they both seem far too focused on the rest of his words to even give it second thought.
I did tell you lots of times to visit.
I know, I'm sorry. It took a lot of his nagging to get me to finally work up the courage. I'm sorry it took so long. Chika-san leans forward on her chair, her brows furrowed as she examines Shoichi's face with trembling lips.
Why would you ever feel guilty, baby? You had nothing to do with anything that happened.
But, Mom, I chose to go with Dad. I had my reasons, but still, I did something that hurt you. There was a lot I should have told you, that I really wanted to stay with you, that I felt like I had to go with, that I saw. Shoichi bit his lip, leaving his sentence unfinished. Chika-san watches him patiently for a few moments, waiting to see if he'd finished the words left unsaid. When it becomes clear he wouldn't, she smiled again, reaching forward and stretching herself to place a hand on Shoichi's knee.
You have nothing to feel guilty for. All I want is to have my son around again. None of those other things matter to me.
Shoichi fidgets next to me, his entire body shivering. He tries to speak in between shaky breaths, clutching his fist on his lap. Mom. I feel an urge to say I told you so, although that would be seriously inappropriate right now. I'll make sure to keep any and all gloating for later. That should make it better.
Now, come on. Tell me more. What have you been up to for the past few years? What's been going on in your life? I want to know everything.
Well, there's been a lot. We might be here for a while. A lot of it is boring, too.
I don't mind, baby. I just want to hear your voice more. Talk to me.
Shoichi nods, humming under his breath and leaning forward on his seat, his tail curling around behind him and brushing up against my legs, nestling itself there. Let's see. Oh, I became student council president on my freshman year of school. That's pretty neat, right? My biggest pitch was trying to increase funding for the school festival, which I've managed to do by... Shoichi begins to fill her in, telling her about most of the things that have been happening lately or that happened in the past. He goes all the way back to our first year of high school, telling her about even the most mundane things. How he became the captain of the volleyball team, how they rose to become a powerhouse school in the prefecture, how high his grades have been, the friends he's made. I can't help but laugh a few times when he snarls playfully while dramatizing his recounts of how much Keikun has been an annoyance to him. Despite his seemingly venomous words, however, he has a wide smile on his face the whole time, laughing along as he tells both girls about their constant bickering. Oh, and there was this one time where the guy wanted to go to a library on our day off. Like, we're all together as a group, wanting to do something fun together, and he suggests a library? The whole time he kept arguing with me about and bitching about how he didn't like cherry blossoms, blah, blah, blah. He feels like he has a need to disagree with me just on principle. To be fair, that goes both ways. You're the same way around him. I guess that's true. He's really fun to tease and rile up. Sachika-san laughs, covering her mouth with both of her hands so as to not show her teeth.
He sounds like a good friend to you. I'm glad you met someone you like so much.
Who says I like him? I can't stand the guy.
It certainly doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, it sounds like he's more interested in telling her about Keikun than us. Do we need to keep an eye on you, Shoichi? Let me see your phone. No, don't fucking do that. Maybe a little. I guess he can't hide how much love he has for the hair, even when he tries his best to do so. Those two definitely have a weird friendship dynamic going on, that much is for sure.
I'm surprised. The one time I met him, he seemed really meek and quiet. He barely said a word when I was around.
Oh, I can clarify that one. That's because you're terrifying.
What? I'm not. I'm small and cute and adorable.
You're about as small and cute as a raging bull trampling over unaware pedestrians in Spain.
Hey!
Hey! Hitoka pouts, punching her brother on the shoulder and sulking at the corner of her seat. Sachika-san chuckles, playfully slapping Shoichi's knee. Honey, don't compare your sister to a raging bull. Yes, ma'am. Oh, and I guess this brings us to this year, right? Well, there's this new guy that transferred to our school at the start of the year. He's this bubbly tiger who plays the piano. Aww, we're not on the couch. Why are we not on the couch? Whatever. Anyway, this is adorable. Look at the fucking photos. You can definitely tell that's Shoichi, and look at them. It's so cute. Oh, this is lovely. Look at them, they're in slippers. Shoichi continues to recount events to his family, smiling throughout the whole thing. He does leave out the part about how the two of us are being in a relationship now, to my great relief. Even if we are ready to be open about it, now really wouldn't be the time for that sort of reveal. He gushes about even the most minor events, telling her everything is great and in great painstaking detail. It's like once he gets going, he couldn't bring himself to stop. Sachika-san merely nods along to his words, to a pleased smile on her face, her eyes never leaving him. Shoichi sneakily grabbed my hand while speaking, squeezing it tightly. His tail wagged against the couch behind them, betraying the enthusiasm he tried not to show on his face. Hitoka and Sachika-san were both the same, except they were a lot less guarded about their feelings. At some point, Hitoka scooted closer to her brother on the couch, leaning her head against his shoulder and listening to him speak in silence. In the middle of this happy family atmosphere, it was clear I stood out like a sore thumb. Quickly excused myself, deciding it was about time that the intruder left the scene and let the other three enjoy their family time in peace. Although Sachika-san seemed sad to see me leave, none of them made any show protesting my decision. While I wouldn't go as far as to say I was unwanted, it was clear even Shoichi now felt comfortable enough to be here without me. Which is only fair. After all, this was his family, not mine. At least, not yet. With one last look at the three of them, I bid my farewells and walked out the front door. A few hours later, I sit lazily on the couch with my left leg propped up over the leg rest and the other one resting atop the coffee table. Jesus Christ, do children not know how to sit anymore? Good fucking God, this generation! I'm trying my best to keep my eyes open and focused on the TV, but already I can feel the early stages of sleep setting in. It's not even that late. Barely 8 p.m. I should not be this tired this early in the night. Dear God, what has happened to me? Am I an old man now?
Aniki, are you alright? You look pretty out of it.
I'm really tired. Not sure why. I'm usually pretty good at staying up late.
Shouldn't you be celebrating? At least this means you'll be able to sleep.
I guess. My insomnia hasn't been that bad lately, so it's less of a concern today. I should probably get to making dinner, actually.
You don't have to cook. Mom's home, remember?
She's been locked away in her room working for the past 3 hours. I don't think she's coming out anytime soon.
She said she would. She wanted to have some family time today.
Mom says a lot of things. She also loses track of time easily. Let her be for now.
I'm just gonna go knock on her door.
Don't do that. That'd be rude.
Fine. Then you go.
Why does anyone have to go? I said no one should knock on her door.
Whoa. Did you learn to knock on doors from a distance or something? Funny. That obviously wasn't me. I'll go check the door. Just a second.
Aki walks to the entrance hall to check who it is. I soon hear the sound of the door being unlocked and opened.
What are you doing here, Shoichi-ni?
Huh? Shoichi? Good evening, Aki-kun. Is it alright if I come in? I was hoping to talk to Cleveland for a bit. Oh.
Yeah, sure. He's right here on the couch.
Hey there. Evening, Cleveland. Whoa! What are you doing here? Isn't it past your curfew already? Maybe.
I told Dad I'd be visiting Mom, so he gave me a bit of an extension on that. I have until 9 p.m. to get home. A 3-hour extension for the first time he sees his mother in years. Come on, Takehiko-san, that's way too stingy. Hey, that's right, you went over to see them today. I'd forgotten about that. Hitoka-chan was really excited when she told me you'd be coming in the morning. She hasn't texted me all day. Oh yeah, that reminds me of something. Oh god. Shoichi walks up to Aki, leaning down and grabbing my brother by his waist, pulling Aki up off his feet and holding him under his left arm. Aki squirms, trying to release himself, but Shoichi's grasp is way too strong. Shoichi laughs, digging his fist on top of Aki's head and grinding it playfully with a noogie. You little twerp, I can't believe you were feeding my sister intel on me this whole time. Oh, I forgot which character it was. Wait, Shoichi, I yield. This whole time you were a spy for the enemy lines, weren't you? What do you mean, enemy lines? Aki laughs, struggling uselessly under Shoichi's terrible punishment. They carry on like this for about 30 seconds or so before Shoichi swings Aki around and places him neatly back on his feet. That should be a good enough lesson. You're horrible, Shoichi. Damn right I am, and don't you forget it. Do you want to stay around for dinner? Mom is cooking today. Oh, Misaki-san is home? I should go say hi to her. Where is she? She's in her room for now. Legend says she'll be cooking dinner, but she might just work all night and forget about it. Nuh-uh, she said she would, so there's no way she'll forget. I'm sure you're right, Aki-kun. I'll say hi to her once she comes down. I'm afraid I wouldn't have time to stay for dinner, though. I need to be home in less than an hour. Aw, you never stay around when I'm home. Shoichi kneels in front of Aki, getting on eye level with him. He smiles, bringing a finger to Aki's snoot and playfully booping him. I promise I'll come by later, okay? Today's been a really busy day. Okay. I'm starting to notice a trend here. How come Aki is so much more behaved and cuter around other people? He's such a little shit to me all the time. Why don't you sit down? I'll definitely take your offer. Shoichi takes the seat right next to mine, sliding in a little closer to me than he normally would. Come on, Cleveland, you have a guest over. Sit up straight. Since when do you still qualify as a guest? Still, and go along with his prodding and do as I'm told, sitting up properly. How have you been, Shoichi? You haven't been around much this past week. I've had a lot on my plate. I was lacking the time to do it. Sorry about that. It's okay. I'm just glad you're here now. Is that so? Damn, you're the third person to say that to me today. Shoichi turns his head to me, stealthily rubbing his left hand against my thigh with a smile, staring at me expectantly. What about you, Cleveland-kun? What about me? Care to make it 4? The smile on his face makes my face grow hotter in record time. We saw each other earlier today already. What do you want from me? Aw, does this mean you're not happy to see me after all? Shut up! I reach behind Shoichi, grabbing and forcefully tugging on his tail as sneakily as I can. Big dog yelps, lunging forward on his seat and wrapping his tail around his waist, dropping it on top of his lap and rubbing it gently. Ouch! All right, I got the message. By the way, Shoichi, how did you do with your exams? Naniki did pretty well despite not studying too much. Like, your lowest score was an 87, wasn't it? An 88? But you were pretty close. My highest score was 94 in the physics exam. Although, no real surprises there. Yeah, I remember seeing your grades up on the board. Still really frustrating that you can get a score that high while barely studying. I spent most of my time studying a ton and I still barely managed to beat your score. Sorry? Is this a thing I should apologize for? I'm not too sure. What were your lowest and highest scores, Shoichi? My lowest was an 85 in philosophy. My highest was 100 in Japanese literature. Whoa, a perfect score! It was my only one.
I got 95 and over on 3. I got 95 and over and on 3 other subjects, but didn't manage to get a perfect score. The fact that you're still complaining with those grades baffles me. Then again, knowing what I know about you trying to convince your dad to let you continue with volleyball by surprising him with extra high scores, I suppose I can understand it.
You seem to be doing really well with your studies. That should be good for you when you take your college entrance exams, right?
It's the hope.
What colleges are you applying for anyway? What do you even plan on studying?
Dad wants me to study business and economics. He's making me apply to the literal top universities in Japan for those courses. So, if I pass in either of them, I'm going to be moving to Tokyo. Tokyo? That's news to me. Well, a degree in a top school would improve my chances in getting a good job, or something to that effect. Honestly, I'm not too sure I'd be able to get in, but he's making me apply to those anyway. He doesn't really believe in safety schools. He's having me apply to 5 universities. The top 2 are in Tokyo, so is number 5. The other 2 are in Kyoto and Kobe.
So, no matter which one you go to, you won't be around anymore.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell me that? What difference does it make? You're moving to the US after you graduate. You're the one who won't be around no matter where I go to study. Ah. Now that he mentioned it, that's true. I hadn't even begun to think of that. I was too busy being all happy about our relationship and worried about his situation that I didn't even stop to think of our situation. What's gonna happen to us once we graduate? With me moving to the US, can we even still be together? Would we go on with a long-distance relationship, or would we... I don't want to think about that. Cleveland? Huh? Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Did you say anything? Not really. You're just looking really out of it there for a second.
Are you gonna be alright, Shoichi? If those universities really are that big, then won't it be really difficult to get in? You must be going crazy studying for the exams.
That's true, but I guess I might have a good chance. Our school is really well placed in national rankings, and I'm doing pretty well despite it. I have my own insecurities, but realistically, I think I'm in a good place. Besides, worrying about entrance exams is something all seniors deal with. I'm hardly the only one.
Yeah, but other seniors aren't overworking dumbasses who don't know when to take a break.
You can't say that for sure. I'm certain some of them must be like me.
I'll rephrase. No one should be enough of a dumbass to not know when to take a break.
I can't be that bad, can I?
You're kind of flirting with the line.
Jeez. When even a 12-year-old can call me out on it, then I know it really is time for me to reevaluate some stuff.
I might be young, but we both know I'm definitely more mature than Aniki here.
Hey! You're right about that.
Don't agree with him!
Was I supposed to lie?
What the hell?
Relax. You're way too serious about this stuff. We're just having a little goofy fun.
It didn't sound like you were just joking.
I never said we were just joking. I said we were having fun.
I'll kill you. Oh, god fucking damn it. This fly keeps flying right at my fucking face.
Look at that fucking expression here. That's some psycho shit. That's ugh. We both know you wouldn't be able to, though you're certainly welcome to try.
Between Aniki and Shoichi, I already know who I wouldn't bet against.
I hate you both.
The two laugh, seemingly finding my suffering incredibly amusing for some reason. And you call me a dumbass. You're way too easy to tease, Cleveland. You're the one who's too good at doing it. I'm glad to be so. This is so unfair. Shoichi already made jokes at my expense even before we started dating, but now that he's in an even better position to do so. Why does he affect me so much? Why do I let him affect me so much? I swear to God, this must be Stockholm Syndrome. There's no other possible explanation. I look at my brother, who is now smiling like a complete doofus, looking between the two of us with glee. What are you grinning so hard about?
Me? Nothing. Just glad to see you two get along so well.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Oh, hey, it's... Oof. She is tired. The sound of footsteps coming from the staircase snaps our attention away from the conversation. Mom emerges at the foot of the stairs, looking around for a few seconds before spotting us.
Hello there, Shoichi-kun. It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Misaki-san, how are you doing? Sorry for the intrusion.
It's no intrusion. You're like one of my own. You're free to come and go whenever you want.
I appreciate it. Oh, shit. Sorry.
I'm sorry it took me so long to come down. I lost track of time while working. I'll get started on dinner right away. Will you be joining us, Shoichi-kun?
No, ma'am. I actually need to get going in just a minute or two. Have to keep up with my curfew and everything.
That's a shame. You should at least make sure to drop by for dinner at some point when I'm free so I can talk to you some more.
If it needs to be while you're around, then he's gonna be waiting for that invite forever. Hey, Cleveland, cut that out.
Well, I guess that's true. I do spend less time at home than I probably should.
Don't worry about it, Mom. Aniki is just being an ass.
I'm just joking. Your jokes don't always land very well. Okay, I hate this shit. Okay, I hate it. Tennis does this a fair bit where everyone will just fucking destroy someone for like an hour, just constantly being like total douches. And then they'll say one thing and then everyone is like, what the fuck? No, you're so bad. I don't agree with teasing Cleveland's mom about, not being home much. She's doing what she thinks is best to support her family, and she's obviously very regretful about that. So yeah, not a great joke, but like everyone has to comment on it and they all have to dig on it. And they goes down the line, make sure everyone gets a chance to fucking rip you a new asshole. And it's like, dude, we fucking get it. Also, a little self-reflection might realize y'all have been doing the same fucking shit with just as much level of appropriateness as he is now. So get over your fucking selves, get a fucking clue, stop being dicks, and don't be fucking hypocrites, because that shit is fucking old.
It's alright to tell them that they suck, Shoichi-ni.
Why does it seem like whenever you two are together, you start ganging up on me?
Just your imagination.
All right. You kids settle down there. We don't need you to start bickering.
We're not bickering, we're just chatting.
I'll tell Cleveland to behave, Misaki. Shut the fuck up! Jesus, it's not funny. Christ.
I'll tell Cleveland to behave, Misaki-san, I promise.
Why are you singling me out? What about Aki? Yes, seriously, what about Aki? Aki isn't the one that's always cramming his foot in his mouth. He doesn't worry me. He would be cramming his foot in his mouth if anyone dared to call him out on his shit. God damn it, this is pissing me off. What the fuck, guys? This is bullying, I swear. It is. It actually is. This isn't charming. Mom laughs, bringing her hand to her mouth in a failed attempt to cover it up.
That's good then. I'll get started on dinner now.
In that case, I should get going. I really need to be home sooner rather than later.
Oh, I wish you could stay a bit longer.
So do I. Later, okay? Shoichi places a hand on top of Aki's head, gently rubbing behind his ears. It seems like Shoichi came over more to talk to Aki and our mom than us. Like, literally, he didn't say anything to us that wasn't shitting on us. What the fuck?
Okay, but you better come by more often. I rarely see you. And the same goes for Sayane.
I'll make sure to tell her that. She'll probably be delighted that you miss her. No kidding. She'd be beside herself with glee. She adores Aki.
She does. I'm glad.
Oh, God. You're punching up a fair bit there, Aki. I'd be a little worried about that. I'd tell Hitoka you said hi, but you already seem to talk to her more than even I do.
That's not...
Anyway,
I'll see y'all later. Cleveland, could you walk me to the door? Sure.
As soon as we walk out the door, I'm hit by the cool evening air. It certainly feels a lot fresher outside with the faint smell of grass and leaves in the air. The sky is already plenty dark, with few stars even visible at this time of night. Then again, with how big Saitama is, the stars aren't often visible regardless. Thanks again. It really was cool of you to drop by to see us.
What are you talking about? You helped me so much today. It was the least I could do.
Plus, I just wanted an excuse to see you again before heading home. Is everything okay at home? It's alright. A bit tense. It should be fine. But right now, I'm just too happy from everything that happened today to even care. I suppose we can chalk that up as a victory, huh? For sure. Shoichi shuffles on his feet, slowly walking up to me and taking my hand, gently playing with my fingers and intertwining them with his. I really need to get going, though. Thank you again for everything. I don't deserve you, Cleves. I wouldn't say that. You do a ton to help me all the time. I love you. I really do love you so much. Just hearing those words is enough to make my chest swell with happiness. But despite that, there's a little part of me who can't help feel worried. You don't have to worry about that. Shoichi places a finger on my lip, silencing me. How did you... I know you. I know if I didn't say anything, you'd worry about whether you should say I love you back. Listen, Cleves, I'm happy with the way things are right now. Really. I've had feelings for you for a long time. I know I'm way ahead of you on that, and I don't expect you to catch up to me for a while. So you don't have to worry about rushing yourself to say something when you're not still sure. It's alright to take your time and let feelings grow on you. Thank you. I can't help worrying about it sometimes, though, that you'd be sad because you say it so often and I don't. I've been in love with you for over 5 years with no hope for anything to ever come of it. Now that we're actually together, I can wait a little while longer for you to reciprocate. Shoichi leans in, touching his lips to mine. We stand under the cool evening air for a few moments, enjoying each other's touch while locked in a kiss. When we pull away, Shoichi looks at me with a pleased smile, placing a hand on my chest and gently rubbing me with his thumb. I never get tired of doing that. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but neither do I. I'm happy to hear it. But I should get going now. I'll see you later, Cleves. Have a good night. Good night. I watch him walk away, his back growing smaller and smaller before vanishing at the next curve. I'm really falling hard for him, aren't I? I just hope things continue to work out well for us, considering everything that's been going on lately. But I also realize there are things I need to consider that I hadn't even thought of until now. What happens after graduation? Ugh. Now on to Monday. I guess we're just skipping the birthday celebraciones. And with that, this episode comes to a conclusion. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Tennis Ace, despite my saltiness. No, fuck that. I'm not apologizing for my saltiness. My gripes are legitimate, goddammit. My feelings are valid. Yours are too. Express them in the comments. What did you think about today's episode? Let me know, as long with, what are your thoughts on GameStop as a company? I know it's a random question, but I like peppering in the random questions. It's kind of fun. I like trivia, and also it reminds people that commenting. I read all the comments. All of them. I'm shit at replying to them, but I heart a lot of them because I like doing that. I'm too neurotic to fucking respond. I always get in my head about if it sounds natural and if it is the right thing to say and all this dumb shit. But I do read all the comments, get the notifications directly to my phone, so let me know what you think. I have to do the YouTuber thing real quick. Let me... I hate doing this part. If you want to follow me on all my other things, feel free. Twitter, TikTok, if it sticks around. That's where I kind of express more of my opinions on those platforms. I also... there's a Discord server that I'm trying to be more active on. I also have an Instagram and a Snapchat, but I never fucking use those. So do whatever the fuck you want. Patreon and YouTube memberships are also a thing if you'd like to support me. And yeah, so until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional, and you are not. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.